Good morning and welcome to Chuck's Tricks of the Trade. This is an outdoor faucet, typical outdoor faucet. On the top you'll see a silver cap, and basically what that is a anti-siphon vacuum brake. The purpose of that is a backflow preventer. Suppose you were spraying fertilizers with your hose and then you turn off the water, it can siphon back and go back into the water system. So you can see the water just running down. These go bad really quickly, especially in cold environment like up here in the north. Last year I had to replace that part and I have to replace it again now. So I'm kind of tired of paying $10 a year to replace it. I'm going to shut the water off and show you a different way that we can do this that I hope will be a little better. I'm going to go inside now. So this is the back of that faucet, or more technically called a hose bib. You see it comes all the way back to here. So the beauty of this is, in this cold environment, is when you shut off the water, it doesn't shut off out there outside where it can freeze. That when you turn the handle, it shuts off all the way back here so that it's inside the building and doesn't freeze. Thankfully, I have a shutoff right here. This is a quarter turn. I don't like regular faucets with a rubber washer because the rubber washer crushes. When you use a quarter turn, it's actually a ball valve in there. It's a metal ball valve, and in one quarter turn, you can turn the water completely off. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this copper pipe right here, and to make it easy, I'm gonna use Sharkbite. We'll put a Sharkbite here. I'll put some PEX tubing to the new hose bib outside, and then I'm going to put a different type of anti-siphon device, which is brass, that will go on the end of the hose bib, and that should work a lot better for us. The beauty of PEX is PEX expands, I believe, 11%, and water expands 9% when it freezes. So if you have PEX tubing in your house or outside, it can freeze over and over. It's going to freeze, the ice will expand, the PEX will expand more than the ice, and the pipes won't break. Copper will certainly split, and other types of pipe will split too, but not PEX. So let's just do a little review of what we're going to do. Here's PEX. This is a half-inch PEX. I like PEX because you have blue for cold water, you have red for hot water. This is a tubing cutter. It can cut copper tubing, plastic tubing. This also is a cutter, and it's great because you can get a nice right angle cut. When you cut your pipe, you don't want to cut it with anything else. No, not with a hacksaw. If you're going to do plumbing, invest in the right tools. If you're not going to have the right tools, don't touch plumbing. You know, I say this a lot because I've been at work and I had a contractor call me that I know very well, and he was trying to work on a condominium to remodel it, and he broke the pipe off in the bathroom, even with a concrete wall, and flooded the neighbor's condo, and pretty upscale condos. Called me. I left work. The maintenance man had the building shut off. They're trying to hurry. Can you hurry up and fix this? I thought, no, I can't hurry up and fix it because now I have to go get parts. We had to break the concrete wall open. And so I had another one also call me, and they had used a wrench trying to install a faucet. Kept turning the nut with one wrench until they completely twisted the thin copper line which fed the faucet, and said, oh, we have a leak. I went there and I thought, you ruined your whole faucet. You never use one wrench. If I see anybody doing plumbing with one wrench, I already know they need to stop and go do something else. Go dig a hole or something, sorry. But you always use opposing wrenches. If you're tightening a gas pipe, a water pipe, anything, you have two wrenches. One on the nut on the left side, one on the right side, and you twist them opposite to each other, or hold one still while you turn the other. You never install plumbing with one wrench. If you're putting a nipple into a dryer for a gas line, you don't turn it in with one wrench. You have one wrench holding next to the body of the dryer, and you have one wrench on the pipe. Never use one. You will twist, you'll break the inside parts of the dryer. Anyway, enough of my ranting and raving, but that's a big pet peeve of mine. So here's the hose bib we're going to use. It's a quarter turn. It doesn't have a rubber washer. As you can see, it has a metal ball inside. And when you turn this knob to open it, let me see if I can do it when I'm holding the phone, a little hard. When you turn it to open it, you will see that there's a hole now. The metal ball opens up. So we're going to take this, and then on top of this, we're going to put, this is a vacuum brake. This is a nice heavy-duty brass that should last, and we're going to screw that onto the end of here, and then the hose will go on to this vacuum brake instead of having the little white metal one on the top that we have. So get good brass parts. Here's a nice big brass quarter turn hose bib. We have a brass vacuum brake, so that should give us years of service. If you're going to do any PEX, make sure you buy one of these, because when you cut your pipe, they'll have little burrs on the end. So you're going to stick this in into the 1/2 inch hole and twist it, and there's a little tiny blade in there that's going to make it nice and even. Besides that, when you're cutting a pipe, even a copper pipe, you push this in all the way. If you're going to do Sharkbite, make sure you do this. Don't say, oh, I pushed it in until it wouldn't go anymore. Well, that might or might not be good, because a lot of times you think it's in all the way. Push it all the way into this orange plastic and then mark it. Now when you put your Sharkbite on, that should go all the way to the line. If it's not all the way to the line, it's not seated properly. You can think you pushed it in far enough, but believe me, it's not far enough. Sometimes you push a Sharkbite fitting on and you say, I pushed with all my might, it won't go any farther. But if it's not properly seated, it can fail. And people will say, oh, don't use Sharkbite, they can fail. Believe me, I've been using Sharkbite for probably 25, 30 years, and the ones I originally put in still held. If you seat it all the way properly, it will hold. But if you just push it on and you don't mark it and you don't have the proper tools to do it the right way, then yeah, it might fail. So let's go get started on this now. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my tubing cutter. I'm going to place it on the pipe, and I'm going to cut the tubing. And let me get that tightened up, and we'll do that. All right, I tightened the knob. So I've got the copper tubing cutter on here. Make sure there's no lumps where you're cutting. If there's lumps of paint and solder and things, you're not gonna get a right cut. So I made sure I was at a smooth place. And then you just start spinning the tubing cutter around. You spin and you tighten, you spin and you tighten, okay? And this will continue to go until it cuts through. Of course, I have the valve off. Make sure the valve's off before you do this. That sounds like common sense, but sometimes people will start cutting a pipe, and then all of a sudden you get a burst of water. So that's something you don't want to do. Let's see here. Make sure this isn't running. Sometimes it'll start spiraling instead of staying in one place and cutting. All right, I'm going to tighten it a little more. I have to set the phone down when I tighten the handle. All right, I'm going to keep turning, and this little cutter wheel is going deeper and deeper into the copper. And we'll just cut all the way through this pipe. Let me tighten it again. All right, I tightened it a little more. It takes two hands to tighten it, so I have to hold the tool with one hand and tighten the knob with the other. All right, almost there. Let me tighten it one more time. And then I should be able to pull this unit back outside. Let me clip that wire tie off of this wire. All right, I have cut the wire loose. So this old hose bib with the long part that turns off inside is off. So let me show you what we're going to do now. All right, now I'm going to take the unit I was telling you about, and we're going to mark this copper pipe back far enough where we know how far to put the Sharkbite on. Marker out. I'm going to make a line right here. This is how far our Sharkbite should go onto the pipe. All right. Here's our Sharkbite fitting. This is a coupler. I'm going to put it on and press it until it meets that line. We are all the way back to the line now. And now here's my PEX tubing. Let's just clean that off a little bit. I'm going to put it in this hole and turn it round and round, and then mark it also so it goes the right distance. All right, I turned it round and round to clean it with a little blade, and now I'm going to mark how far our Sharkbite should go in. Make a little line there, and we'll push it in. All right, now let's bring the two together. Get our Sharkbite and our PEX tubing Later on, I'll do a video showing you how to do PEX with the PEX crimping tool. Let me push this in. I'll push hard until it goes all the way in. Oh, sorry. Keep putting my fingers in the way. And we push it all the way to the black line. Now, I'm going to have to tie this up because before it, the PEX is flexible, so we don't have the support we had before. So I'll just put a little hanger here. Incidentally, a copper pipe, make sure that you use copper wire or plastic, because if you use a regular steel hanger on copper pipes, electrolysis will take place and it will literally eat the copper away. So make sure that you don't hang it with steel. If you're going to hang a copper pipe, use copper, or you can use plastic. Never use steel. Now we're going to come outside. The first thing to do is cut our PEX. Now that we have it in place, we'll cut it to length, and then we're going to put this. This also is a Sharkbite, this hose bib. We'll put it on, and I'm going to leave a little space and then put a block of wood because there's nothing to screw to since it's a glass block window. I'm going to put a piece of wood in between and squeeze the wood between the hose bib and the window just to give it some kind of support. So let me cut that. So let's take our cutters, get the I'm gonna try to get a square cut here, and I'm going to press this ratchets, and then it makes a nice smooth even cut. Now we're going to push our Sharkbite fitting on. Okay, so we're going to push this back until we get to the line. And now that's all the way seated. And now voila, that is finished. I'll just put a piece of wood under here. We have a quarter turn valve. With valves, when they're perpendicular to the pipe, they're off. So with a valve, when they're perpendicular to the pipe, they're off. When they're parallel, the water or the gas is on. Okay, see you at our next video.